Hi everyone, we'll wait for a minute for folks to join and then we start. Okay, great. So good afternoon, everyone. I'm Kavish. Thank you so much for taking out time out of your busy week. We'll get started with the first episode of Payoneer D2C Rath. D2C Rath is a multi-episode series of online and offline events focusing on enabling D2C brands from different Indian cities with know-hows to succeed in international commerce. The launch of D2C Rath is a part of Payoneer's ongoing commitment to promote the growth of Indian SMEs through participation in the cross-border e-commerce trade. We at Payoneer work with thousands of sellers globally. A lot of you would have used Payoneer in some capacity and you know what we do as a platform. We help brands, sellers, merchants take their e-commerce business to global consumers. Building on the same mission, we would take this opportunity to introduce you to the best partners in the Indian e-commerce industry, who will then walk you through the best practices to take your D2C business to global customers. In today's session, we will cover a wide range of topics with respect to global e-commerce selling, discuss the D2C industry's best practices in domains like advertisement, logistics, payments. I'm super excited to introduce you to our speakers today who are not only the leaders in e-commerce industry, but also work closely with thousands of D2C brands expanding their services to global shopping cart. Today, I'm joined by Anita from FedEx, right bottom of the screen. We have Arvind from AdYogi, a performance automation platform for Facebook, Instagram, and Google Ads. And then we have Gaurav from Payoneer, a cross-border payment solution for millions of SMBs. I would encourage all the audience to put their questions in the Q&A section. It's a golden opportunity to ask any questions that you might have in your cross-border journey. It can be a basic question or it can be a tough question. Don't feel shy to ask any kind of questions. You have experts from India right in the next 1 hour here to answer any question that is a blocker in your global e-commerce journey. Now we'll go ahead with a brief introduction by these speakers. Before we hop on to the session and the specific details, I would request all of you to give a quick introduction about your organization and how you guys are helping D2C brand sellers go global. We will start with Arvind from AdYogi.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Kavish, for such a great opportunity to speak with a great audience. So let me introduce myself. My name is Arvind. I have around 17 years of experience in e-commerce. So currently I'm associated with a performance automation company or agency called AdYogi. We work with across 230 brand across India. You name the biggest house of brand in India. We work with them from RBL to uh, this bestseller group to major brand and then TCNS, Rare Rapid, Catch. We work from retail expertise to the online only brand. We were fortunate enough to build a lot of online only brand like Malmal, Campus Sutra, Catch, and so on. Right. And about myself, I I spent almost a decade on the brand side. I joined AdYogi in July only. It is my third month here only in AdYogi. Before that, I was part of TCNS. It's a group of women fashion brand. They have W, Aurelia, Wishful, and couple of other brand in their kitty was able to grow their uh, total D2C revenue from couple of lakhs to couple of hundreds of crores in last 7 years. Before that, I was running my own startup. Fortunate enough to get successfully exited after running it for 4.5 years. The brand is still up and running. And before that, I spent my 5 years on the agency side. So my today's agenda would be is that how can I bring my not just my agency expertise, but also my brand and startup guy expertise to the table, and I can give some input to how to set up a cross-border platform for even for an online only brand or a brand who are pretty much stable in Indian market to take it across globe. That's all about me. Thank you. And
Great, Arvind.
thank
I'm
you,
sure
Alex.
you're going to get a lot of questions, tough questions around how brands can scale and acquire new customers. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you.
Over to Anita from FedEx.
Thank you, Kavish. Very interesting profile, Arvind. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Anita Bhardwaj, as you heard, and I'm Managing Director Sales with FedEx. I've spent close to 18 years in the logistics industry, of which 14 have been with this wonderful organization called FedEx. I also head the e-commerce strategic initiatives for India, and I'm extremely honored and excited to be part of this event, give you a peek into the FedEx world and how we're looking to partner with you all to grow your reach and sales directly to customers. I will restrict what all FedEx does in my introduction because we have an entire presentation around it, and I would love to take you all through that. Back to you, Kavish.
Thanks, Anita. Before I go with my introduction, I really want to thank Kavish, FedEx, and AdYogi to make this D2C Rath Yatra successful. At least we start with the first episode today, and I'm sure we'll be able to add a lot of value to our customers with this initiative. My name is Gaurav. I am a country manager for Payoneer. I've been with Payoneer for last 6 years. And I feel a little old when I compare myself to Anita and Arvind. I have 20 years of experience. So definitely a little elder to both of these guys, but super stoked and happy to be here at Payoneer. What we really focus is on able to help our customers of any size in business to grow their business. So happy to be here, and over to you, Kavish.
Excellent. Thank you, all of you, for sharing the quick background. A quick note to our audience, please ask any questions in the Q&A box. We have like a room full of experts from India, and we'll be happy to answer everything. Okay, without wasting much time, let's get on to the first session from AdYogi, where AdYogi will talk about the best practices in performance marketing when building your brand from India for the world. Over to Arvind.
Thank you, Kavish. So let me share my screen. I hope my screen is visible. Perfect. Okay. So today's agenda is how to decode the growth strategy for cross-border scale-up. So for me, the key takeaways from this session, which you can get, is that what is actually cross-border market for India, and second, what are the basic challenges which we face when a new brand is going for a cross-border market. Third is what are the 3 steps or stages for launching a cross-border brand, or say launching a established brand into a cross-border market. Third is that strategies or a basic pro tip which we have learned in last couple of years, which can help you to go through all the mazes of cross-border market in a very quick time period. And lastly, summarizing how your spend of a cross-border campaign should look like. So before we jump into cross-border market, first we have to understand that what is cross-border market is all about. So actually there are a lot of data available across. If you go to internet, you will find that US has such big market and Europe is so big. So we just want to focus on 2 basic things, that from India perspective, if we look that top cross-border destination in India is US, and then it is just give me 1 second, please. Yeah, China and then Australia. In terms of these are the top markets from Indian perspective. And the second thing, the most important thing, suppose I take a one number for US only. There are a lot of studies which say that total e-commerce market for US is somewhere around 52 billion and plus. Right? Out of them, overall 57% market is captured by the cross-border shareholders. And basically, if we see in that way, one out of $5 is spent in US is actually spent on the cross-border markets. Second most important metric is that if we see the share of various segment in the cross-border market, the biggest chunk which we have find is that 40% goes to apparel and next 7% went to accessories or jewelries. Electronics, and this is where the Indian market is pretty much hoping of, right? Electronics is somewhere where China and other market are pretty big and they are working on the electronics. But if you see apparel and jewelry, this is where we see a lot of potential from Indian perspective. Now, the question arises, these are the global data. How does it make sense to me or for a particular brand? So basically, there are a couple of basic questions which we should answer before we jump into starting our cross-border journey. And this is where the meat is. This is where a couple of brands are able to scale up, a couple of brands are not able to scale up. The first question, according to me, which territory to start with. Second, what should be my minimum budget requirement to start a cross-border campaign? Second, what should be my average cost of impression? Because this is your entry level currency in terms of digital marketing. Second, what should be my international pricing strategies? And last but not least, very important question is that whether I should start with my own domestic website or should I go for a new website? Should I go with subdomain? And so on. And last is when I can see some potential result rolling. So we work with lot of brands in domestic as well as international also. So these are a couple of brands which we are able to scale up very successfully. Out of them, W and True Brown started their journey in last quarter itself, and we are getting good result from them. On the basis of that, we built a basic journey. How do these brands are able to do that? So I put the complete scale up into 3 phases. One is set the basic right before we launch. Even if we launch our website or we are already working into cross-border market, there are a couple of things which we can fix right now. One second is the launch phase, and third, how can we scale up rapidly? So we will take all these almost 8 points in the next couple of 10 minutes, and then I am open for all the questions. So first question which come to the mind, whether we should start with a fresh website or what territory we should start with. So if you're starting a new brand, we will always suggest that rather than going all up across the globe, we should look for looking for a basic one geography which according to your brand offering or what kind of product you are trying to sell. So suppose if you are trying to sell a wear, then we will say United States or UAE could be a very good market. Why we are saying this? Because one thing, if you have limited budget and the internet penetration is very high across the globe, your budget will be diluted. You won't be able to create the complete funnel, and then you will not see the complete result. So it is better to see where is your audience thickness in terms of geography and then focus on that. Even in US, if you see, there are a lot of country where you should focus. Suppose Texas is where if you're starting with a very, very low budget. Second is that why it is important to select a particular territory. Suppose if I take an example of UAE, in UAE you have seen that cash on delivery is a kind of people are expecting. But if you go to US or Australia, then prepaid is like a norm. You don't need a cash on delivery services. So it is always beneficial to start with one territory, fix your basics in place, and then go for keep adding the territory and so on. Second thing, the second question comes, should I start with my domestic website or should I launch a new website or should I go for a subdomain? So frankly speaking, we can start our international cross-border journey from same website also. There are a lot of tools which can work on that. But if we want to set our basics, first thing is that if I have to set the pricing right, for that it is good for me to have a different website. And if you are looking for a different website, we always believe don't go for a subdomain, because subdomain will create a lot of issue in terms of your pixels, in terms of your Google Merchant Center, and so on. So if you can start with a new fresh domain, start with a new website for international market, so that you can set your offers, your catalog, your coupons for a specific territory. Next, how to set up the pricing for a international website. Suppose you are selling a particular product into India, right? So we have to keep in mind that customer in other countries have a different purchasing power, right? Adjusting a price based on the total cost that is occurring for. So there are two ways. One thing is that you can create a costing, and then on top of that you can add all the international shipping charges and import duties and everything, and you can pass it to customers. Second way, which is very successful in India, that you can mark up your price, right? And then after a certain price, you can offer a free shipping, which can be a very good hook for a customer to come to your website. And it can create a lot of uh, talking point, and it will give you a lot of marketing CTA, which you can use further. So that you have to figure it out. Second, you have to see that your product might be the competition across domestic may be different. The competition for your price across cross-border market can be different. So you can beef up our price accordingly. This is the most important thing. Second, why we are saying that, just to come back to my last point, why we are saying that start with a new website. If you are using the same website, then it is very easy for customer nowadays using a lot of tool. They can see what is the price in India and what is the price in cross-border market. It might create a customer mistrust for your brand. So it is better to start a new website, or if you are using a same website, then I would recommend don't go for the price markup, go for a basic currency converter. This is what one of our clients in India is doing. They are keeping the price same across all geography, and you can use it using the basic currency converter. Use currency converter only if you are not changing your price according to the market. Third is how to choose your catalog. When you are trying to choose your catalog, make sure that you should not you should exclude the product which are on the lower AOV side, because it will not create value for customer as well as for the brand. Because if suppose you are selling a product, say $10 worth, and the shipping cost on top of that is again $16, it does not make a good uh, offering for a customer. So we would always recommend that keep your AOV high. Your overall average AOV for a apparel brand should be somewhere around 400 plus dollar. Then one more thing, when you are off, yeah. And the last from my side is that how to scale up. So this is the slide where we want to spend some time. Is when you are starting your campaign, most of the time my client asks me that whether I should start with Facebook, whether I should start with Google. Our idea is that you have to see that you should start from Google and Facebook both, because as of now, using both platform, and obviously the Instagram under Facebook, now it is Meta, right? Because to create a complete funnel, it makes sense that you use both Google and Facebook. Second important question, that what could be my CPM? When we say our CPM, what we have seen approximately that the CPM in these cross-border market is almost 4 times of what kind of CPM we are getting in India. So the same thing is basically depend on your CPA. So you have to see that the kind of product offering you are doing, the kind of P&L management you are doing, you have to make sure that your CPA will remain somewhere around 40 to 50. Your CPC will, if in India, suppose we say our CPC on a normal basis is somewhere around 10 to 12 rupees. So your CPC on cross-border market, depending on your product stickiness, somewhere around 50 to 60 rupees. Even if your website conversion rate is 2%, which is high, normally we have seen the website conversion rate is between 1 to 2%. Your average CPS will be somewhere around 700 to 800 rupees. So you have to make sure that the kind of offering you are giving, that's why by giving free shipping on a certain order value is very important, because what it will give you, it will somehow give a caveat to your customer to add more product into your cart, so that you can get a good CPS at the end of the day. last but not least from my side would be is how your campaign should look like. So basically, we can break our whole campaign into 4 parts. One is awareness, consideration, then your purchase, and last but not loyalty. When you are launching a brand, it is very much important that your total, approximately 40 to 60% of your total budget should go into awareness. When we say awareness, this is where you should look your CPM as a metric so that you can reach out to new people. Here, YouTube discovery, your YouTube short. Uh, in case of Facebook, your campaign, middle funnel campaign, which include your content view and add to cart campaign will help you to generate a lot of traffic where you can generate the awareness. In terms of audience targeting, what we have seen is that suppose you are selling something ethnic wear and you want to target to a market US. US has very deep internet penetration. So your audience should be in 2 ways. One is on the base of geography. You have to find out where you have the clusters of Indian or Indian audience. There are a lot of county where Indian audience penetration is very high. Second, you can target them on the basis of language, that the people who have secondary language, either Hindi, Marathi, Telugu, Tamil, and so on. Third is most important thing. There are a lot of Facebook groups which are based on festivals and communities. You can target to Marathi community, you can target to Gujarati community, you can target to Tamil community. So these kind of don't go for very basic or very broad targeting like discount hunters, online shoppers, or using your brand keyword. Look into your audience, try to find out to them. Because why we are saying that? Because CPM will be high. So don't, what we see in domestic, most of my clients will say that my CPM has to be less than 100 rupees. But if your CPM is 100 rupees and your CTR is less than 1%, it's not going to ease your life. It is better to have a CPM which is 200 or 300 rupees. Sometimes we have seen the CPM is as high as 600 rupees for D2C client, but their CTR is up to 4% or 5%. And then eventually, if your add to cart and your the transactions are in place, you will make money out of that. So you have to find the right audience. This is where you have to focus a lot in terms of awareness. When we say consideration, consideration is where the all the automation, the AdYogi tool will come into the picture. We built a very smart ad-based tool where you can run a separate campaign for a top funnel product which are interacted by the customers. You can run your smart ad for your top selling, your best sellers, your in stock. So this is where you run a lot of smart ad. For awareness, it has to be custom ad. For consideration, it has to be smart ad. Last, purchase. Purchase is when client is between add to cart or product view product. This is where your pixels has to be in place so that your purchase actions and your A2C action are captured properly. And last but not loyalty, the people who have already purchased from you. This is where you have to see that what is their brand or your product reconsideration type. If you are dealing with any ethnic category, you have to make sure that all the big festival you should be present over there, right? So that you can create a audience set of purchaser of last 365 days, and then you can retarget them. This is the basic thing from my side. And thank you very much for your time. I hope I have completed within the given time frame. I'm more than happy to take the questions.
Thank you so much, Arvind. You were well in time, and I'm sure the audience found a lot of value in the things that Arvind shared. Few really good examples in terms of the brands of how AdYogi has helped them go global, helped them acquire new customers in newer geographies beyond India. So I'm sure the audience would have found a bunch of really good takeaways from Arvind. We'll take question towards the end. Again, I request all of you to keep adding questions here. Moving forward, we have Anita from FedEx who will talk about how Indian brands can grow global and how FedEx solves for cross-border logistics challenges and helps Indian goods go travel to every part on the planet.
Thank you so much, Kavish. And to help explain and communicate, I have a deck prepared, which please, if you can confirm, you can see the deck. Thank you. So good afternoon again, everyone. I'll be taking you through the multiple facets of logistics for cross-border e-commerce and how FedEx can be a one-stop shop for all your cross-border needs. We at FedEx are global leaders in international express logistics with our reach to 220 plus countries. In today's age, we completely understand the problems faced by sellers and buyers when it comes to e-commerce. Typically, need for a faster pickup, delivery, guidance on shipment documents, customer service support, flexible delivery to customers at destination, or most important, returns management. The world's indeed becoming a small place by the day, and FedEx is happy to collaborate with you all to help you expand your cross-border sales. So let's have a look what we're going to cover today. We're going to look at e-commerce trends and opportunity, FedEx network and its capabilities, FedEx solutions for cross-border e-commerce growth. The cross-border e-commerce market has accelerated as shoppers go beyond their home country while expecting a very simple and local experience. Sharing with you on the slide, as you see, are references from two studies that were based on e-commerce, bringing both the seller and the buyer's perspective. The FedEx Harmony Research April 2021 study reflects 57% customers stated that pandemic has opened their eyes to the convenience and choice of e-commerce. And thus, the small, medium businesses are looking to partners to gain new expertise, to expand to new markets, to offload logistical burdens, along with end-to-end international experience. If you look at the study from Shopify Future of Commerce 2021, it reflects that the pandemic has amplified the consumer's desire for convenience, immediacy, and simplicity. This has basically led to localization of everything from language, payments, logistics, and customer service, some of which we even heard from Arvind. Moving on, let's have a look at what has caused some rapid changes in the e-commerce industry. The first and the most important is the customer expectations. Time from order to delivery is shortening, moving to local fulfillment, thanks to the Amazon effect, even globally. Marketplaces. Now, marketplaces have gained almost 50% of cross-border e-commerce market by making it easier to go global for a seller. Many applications and extensions are helping our retailers with the convenience compared to buying a customized integrated solution. If you look at unbundling of a service, retailers now also have the freedom to select tech companies to help them with specific needs that help them reduce costs. With the ever landscape that's changing on technology has certainly helped sellers with simplifying and streamlining catalog classification processes. And last but not the least, e-commerce platforms. We've seen that e-commerce platforms over the last decade or so have made the cross-border more transparent, from adding harmonized code to knowing the landed cost of product or fulfillment and transportation costs. So with these changes or trends in e-commerce known, let's move on to take a quick look at the FedEx capabilities that bring convenience and ease of shipping at your doorstep. As a subject matter expert when it comes to cross-border shipping, we present a bouquet of products and services to customers. So let's have a look at our capabilities to connect out of India. If you look at only FedEx Express, okay, we are a $40 billion revenue company as on the last fiscal. But please note, these are FedEx Express numbers only and not the entire FedEx Corporation, which is approximately $93.5 billion as we speak. So if we talk about FedEx Express, it's $42 billion. We have more than 275,000 team members across the globe, handling more than 6.3 million average packages per day. Our network comprises a fleet of 697 aircrafts, more than 87,000 motorized vehicles, and we operate from 13 major hubs around the globe. This is the network that stands behind making the world a smaller place. If you further look at the network capability, we are able to connect to 99% of the world's GDP. Our 24/7 clearance operations help sellers connect shipments faster with the buyers. We have about 38 departures and arrivals of flights per week from India, connecting to 3 major gateways, Bombay, Delhi, Bangalore, with 100+ ton daily uplift capacity. and that too in our own aircrafts with zero dependency on any other commercial airline. Another important milestone, if we go to the next slide, another important milestone in the logistics sector for India is the FedEx and Delivery strategic partnership. We have come together to unlock cross-border potential into and out of India. FedEx Express and Delivery will use our combined strengths and brands to meet evolving customer demand in India and globally. Delivery expands market reach by selling international products and services and managed pickup and delivery for FedEx Express in the Indian market. Delivery offers their customers FedEx Express products and freight solutions. We will be working together very closely on developing new products and technology solutions for our customers. Together with Delivery, FedEx is looking to establish a complete ecosystem of e-commerce enablers spanning all verticals, customer segments, and sizes. We completely understand that there is no one size fits all, and hence we have solutions for micro, small businesses covering your marketplaces, e-commerce platforms, plugins, medium businesses such as shipping platforms, payment solutions, large businesses such as B2B platforms, and enterprise businesses. So no matter what the size of your business, we have solutions to cater to your diverse needs to go global. Now let's have a look at some of our product and services. Of course, I will cover only the high-level details. We have an extensive FedEx and Delivery sales teams who will connect with you to offer solutions very specific to your requirements. But just taking a look at our high-level products, our product offers sellers with more choice and exceptional service. We offer international priority as our key time-definite product, offering speed of delivery for high priority, small samples, and commercial parcels. International economy is suitable for large commercial parcels up to 20 kgs, where shipment is less time sensitive and offers economy tariff options. If you look at some heavyweight shipments, typically in the range of 70 plus kg range, which is freight, and are priority in nature, we have something called as international priority freight. And its counterpart, which is less time sensitive and offering a slightly lower discounted tariff, is our international economy freight. I'd like to now take you to the next product, which is a very focused product from FedEx to grow e-commerce, which is FedEx International Connect Plus. FICP offers speed of 1 to 3 days delivery, giving experience of premium e-commerce service in attractive pricing. Our digital shipping solutions and integration flexibility with third-party shipping tools strengthens this product further. FICP offers you multiple delivery options at destinations, including home, retail point, or a locker, leave at door facilities. Presently launched specifically to a few Asian countries, we're looking to expand its scope to the Europe and American markets very soon. Moving to our next product, a break bulk concept, which is the FedEx International Direct Distribution. IPD offers solution of break bulk by uplifting of multiple packages as one single consolidated shipment to destination clearance. Post the clearance at destination, multiple packages are deconsolidated to move as individual shipments to respective buyers. This solution helps our sellers save on regulatory fees, duties, and taxes. I would like to now explain to you something we have specifically for compatibles. Compatibles, as you all know, basically are SaaS providers, marketplaces, or merchants that play a role in the different sections of completing an online sale. Our vision of compatible program is to provide ease of access to these e-commerce merchants. FedEx is enabling thousands of merchants to easily manage their orders from multiple channels. We have already partnered with close to 30 plus companies in the EMEA region, and the names are there for you on the screen. I'd like to now talk about one of our most important and critical value-added features for e-commerce, the FedEx Delivery Manager. One very common problem or challenge for cross-border shippers is the availability of the recipient at the time of delivery. Now, on a domestic landscape, this may not impact largely on the return freight, but certainly cross-border shipping can have a significant impact when compared to the ticket size shipped. Our flexible delivery solution enhances the delivery experience for sellers, as the buyers can opt for preferred date and location for shipment delivery, leading to much lesser returns. Buyers will receive a notification by SMS or mail informing them about package and delivery status through the various delivery options. And moving to one of the most required solutions for the e-commerce industry, returns management. The last and important piece of e-commerce shipment is when a shipment due to unsuccessful delivery needs to be returned to its origin country. In such a scenario, merchants can opt for our returns and custom labels. They can rely on the global coverage of the FedEx network, and they have 3 options for booking a pickup. So you could either call FedEx customer service, you could schedule a pickup online, or include the return shipment in a regular scheduled pickup. With this simplified returns management processes, we help you with better control on the undelivered shipments, if any. So that pretty much brings me to the end of my presentation. We look forward to hearing from you through the different modes as you see on the screen. Thank you for patiently listening, and we do hope that what you saw gives you a good understanding of the FedEx strengths and capabilities that can help you go global with an excellent and seamless experience. Thank you once again, and I'd like to hand it back to Kavish.
Thank you so much, Anita, for walking us through what FedEx and delivery can do for merchants and helping them support export to multiple geographies across the globe. A few really good things I found in the FedEx presentation were largely around being able to support different merchants, different shipment sizes, different geographies, and having a unified approach towards helping exporters, and a lot of integration which I could see that they have for different types of customers. So be it enterprise, be it SMB, be it mid-market, FedEx covers everyone and supports them in their export journey. I'm sure each one of you would have a lot of questions around how FedEx can help them. I would request you to keep asking questions in the Q&A box. We'll try to cover them towards the end of the session. Moving forward, we'll have Gaurav from Payoneer, who will walk us through how Payoneer's checkout solutions can help you export cross-border and help you receive payments from 200 plus countries directly in your Indian bank account. Over to Gaurav.
Thanks a lot, Kavish. Let me know if you can see my deck. Is it visible? Fantastic. Thanks so much. First of all, Arvind, Anita, super insightful, great decks. Happy to get a copy of them to have a look at it again. I'll spend next 10 minutes on talking about D2C as a segment versus only payments. So my first statement before I even move on to my first slide is, if you are a D2C brand owner or want to get into this space, I can tell you one thing, that you're directionally you're thinking right. We have brands like Mamaearth, we have brands like Carrot Lane, which are already have a turnover of 100 crore plus. Looking at this industry, the D2C brands are expected to grow at a CAGR of 24% from 2021 to 2030. So again, clearly a segment which is growing much faster than the economy and some of the other segments within the market. There are already 50,000 brands which are available in India. So clearly a humongous opportunity. There are a lot of players who are looking at this segment. So the earlier you get into it, the faster you get into it, the better it is. And again, the reason is very simple. This market was $33 billion in 2020. This is expected to multiply 3 times by 2025 and become a $100 billion market. Very rarely you will see segments who grow at this pace. And eventually we see markets growth rate tapering down after a few years. So again, at the cost of repeat time to get into it. One way what we see is a lot of D2C brands are testing and increasing their sales is marketplace. So the phenomena what we're seeing is when somebody start their D2C brand, they tend to start with marketplace. Once they have more confidence, they start their online store, they start their offline store. That's the journey we're seeing, especially for internet first brands across the globe. Very, very interesting tidbit. A brand which has a cross-border presence tends to charge a premium ASP for cross-border customers, while the CAC is higher, which is cost of acquisition is higher. If you're really, really able to engage and retain the customer, it's 1.3 times more profitable business than domestic business. The brands which are in cross-border space tend to grow faster, have a higher survival rate. Multiple reasons why brands should definitely consider that. Moving on, we do see investors loving this segment. D2C brands, there were 163 deals, and there was a funding of $1.4 billion in 2021. And in first 6 months, we already saw a funding of $1.3 billion with 119 odd deals. So clearly a segment which is not only growing at a great pace, at the same time, investors are loving this segment. So you're seeing a lot of money coming in this segment. So that's one. If I look at a playbook to acquire customer globally, I'm talking about globally again. Reason being, we believe that that's the right way for a brand to move, not only domestically but also they need to equally focus on cross border, if not more. There are 3 C's which are super duper critical. One is content, commerce, and community. In plain simple words, it's not important to only have a website. What you really need to do is keep on coming with new blogs, new polls, new white papers to ensure that there is high cost of acquisition, to ensure that you are able to really engage these customers, retain these customers, and build those referral programs so that overall you start growing your business faster. There are a couple of brands whom we've seen in this market who have done well in this category. So there's Kalanaketan, who's doing it beautifully. There is Panache, who are again doing this, managing these 3s really well and growing pretty fast. Moving on to the segments which are doing well, and I want to focus on fashion. And again, if you look at AdYogi's presentation, they clearly spoke about 2 segments which were growing very fast, which is large share in US, right? So there's one, electronics, which what we see is typically dominated by the China, Taiwan of the world. Whereas fashion is something which we believe we have lot of potential. And within fashion, what we are seeing is the subcategories like jewelry, clothing, eyewear doing really well. There are more than 100 funded fashion startups. Some of the big ones are Lenskart, Bluestone, Zivame, Bevkuf. All of them have their cross-border presence now. Moving on. If somebody asks me what's the framework for international growth for internet first brand, I would say we start with research, build an hypothesis. So find your niche, build a hypothesis, validate it. When I say validate it, maybe go to a marketplace, start selling product on marketplace, take customer feedback, see how customers are behaving to your product, your pricing point, your price points, and you will figure out the price point and the TG match there. Once you have that, you really need to double down on either building on your marketing online marketing team, or hire an agency like AdYogi, ensuring that there is a product market fit, ensuring there is compliance. And Anita spoke about it on her presentation. It's important to if you're selling in UK, it's important to pay VAT. So ensure that you're covered on the compliance bit. Build a team and keep on repeating it. It's as simple as that, or as complicated as that. I think there are 3 important aspects of cross-border business, and I will start from the bottom one. Customer acquisition. For any brand to be successful, your CAC has to be low. And that's not only optimization on acquiring, it also, going back to my previous point, that once you acquire the customer, how will you really keep him engaged? How will you keep on coming up with blogs, polls, and a lot of such things, so that customer is not only engaged, he also keeps on coming back and buying more and more, and he associates himself or herself to your brand. So it's super duper critical. Logistics, especially in the case of cross-border, the product needs to reach in the shape and form it's supposed to be in. It needs to reach the time within time frame you commit that to the customer. Your logistics should have a reach to the country you are selling to. So super duper critical. And last, not the least, payments from both the sides. Ability for a customer to pay in multiple forms is super duper critical. Is your payment platform letting buyer pay through a credit card or a debit card, whether it's going to be Visa or Master, which geography? So that's super duper important. At the same time, on your side, getting paid through a platform in a transparent manner, in a compliant manner, at the speed at which you want. So I think three important pillars for me for cross-border business. And I think payments is where we come in, and I'll try and move fast on this one. Payments is where we come in the picture. We are a cross-border payment platform. We've been there in the business since 2007. We are a listed company at NASDAQ with a ticker name of SPAO, which is PAYO. We support 190 countries plus territories. We support 150 plus currencies. We have 5 million active customers with us. And we work with some of the really large names. So whether it's Amazon, whether it's Walmart, whether it's Google, Facebook, Airbnb, you name it, and most of them use us in some shape and form. This typically covers various categories which we support, right from freelancing to stock photography to marketplaces, vacation rental, and digital marketing. Moving on. So this year, and this is something which we are super proud of. This year we launched our end-to-end checkout offering for Indian cross-border D2C brands. Our aim was to help merchants to grow their revenue. When I say grow their revenue, there are three important aspects we focus on. One is ensuring a higher success rate, so that you don't lose out on any business and revenue. Ensuring that we provide right and transparent pricing so that you can price your product correctly. We provide settlements in USD and Euro, so that you really get the flexibility of ensuring that you're managing your funds well. When it comes to efficiency, we accept Visa and MasterCard. We provide very high transaction success rates of 95% plus. I think one thing which is super duper important for any payment platform is security. We are licensed payment facilitator by Visa and Master. We are PCI DSS compliant. We are leading fraud prevention solution, which is integrated with our product. You don't need to do anything additional if you're using Payoneer checkout solution. We have a 3DS secure buyer verification to ensure that we reduce your buyer risk. Moving on, we provide all three options of integration, whether it's an embedded iframe, whether it's a hosted payment page, or whether it's a platform plugin which is required for a WooCommerce or Magento and Shopify, which is something that is WIP for us. Big question: why should you use us? While we believe we have a great product, I think what's important is also we provide a local team support. So we have a team in India who can really answer your questions in case you have any doubts. In case you get stuck somewhere, we have team to really help you out. We really provide ease of payments. So we let you settle funds in USD, Euro, We also provide you virtual collection accounts through which, or virtual cards through which you can make payments in Google, you can make payments to Facebook, and really optimize your finance funnel. We let you make supplier payments across the globe. We help you save. When I say we help you save, what we really do is provide you a right and transparent pricing. We provide you better rolling reserves and higher success rates. And most important, we have a leading fraud protection system. We have high card security standards, and we are OPGSP and RDA with our banks. Last slide from my side. We are compatible with mobile phone, desktop, and tab. That's all from my side. Happy to take any questions if any. Over to you, Krish.
Thank you so much, Gaurav, for such an in-depth walkthrough of what Payoneer can do for Indian merchants and how Indian merchants can use the brand new Payoneer checkout solution to start receiving payments on their web store, be it built on Magento, WooCommerce, or a custom-built website. How can they use checkout to receive international payments? Great. So we are towards the end of it. We'll start taking some questions. But first of all, thank you so much to all these speakers to walk us through their content of enabling brands, Indian sellers to start selling cross-border on their own website, showcase their D2C brand, showcase their great work that they have done in India to customers globally. Now we will go ahead and take up a few questions that we have from the audience. We'll first get started with AdYogi. We have like a bunch of questions that the customers have, the audience have asked. The first one being to Arvind. Arvind, what kind of offers should merchants run for international customers? Let's take an example. If somebody is selling in the US, what kind of offers can they run for their customers in the US?
So to answer this question, basically there are two types of things which we have to cover. One is that what is we are offering and when are we offering it. So one thing which we have seen with the client who are very big in domestic, they somehow try to follow the domestic sale calendar in some shape and form. So what we recommend is that we have to follow that what is the biggest sale event for that particular geography. For example, say if you are targeting in US, then 4th July or Black Friday or Boxing Day sale, these are the very important sale event for those particular geography, and you have to focus on those geography when you are planning to offer. In terms of offering, what we have seen in especially in cross border, rather than giving them line discount, which means that giving a direct offer onto the product, it makes more sense if we give them more cart based offer or more shipping based offer. It will help you in two ways. One, it will help you to increase your average order value so that your CPS will look more lucrative. And second is that free shipping can be a very big CTA or very good hook to bring customer back to your website. So these are the two things which I would recommend. Third, last but not least, if we are offering a new product or a new services, it make always sense to give some gift away of those services. Suppose you are an apparel business and you want to try your hand into jewelry. Jewelry is very easy to ship, and if customer is already buying apparel from you, there will be no additional charges in terms of logistic to send those jewelry also. And you can offer altogether a new category and you can build a better brand stickiness with the customer. So three type of offer. One is go for card based or shipping based offer. Try to maintain the seasonality of that geography. And third, try always try to give some gift away rather than giving straight away line discount on a product. That's all from my side.
Great input. I hope that this answers the question for our audience. We'll move on to Payoneer. Gaurav, one of the members from the audience wants to understand what factors should somebody consider when they are choosing a payment gateway for their international payments.
Thanks, Kavish. I think it's a great question to start with. I think think of it in a order of priority. I think one thing which is super duper critical is security. Uh, Security of your money, uh, security of or security in a way that the buyer is actually trusts the payment gateway. He knows the payment gateway so that he does that transaction. So that's high on priority, which you should look at. You should look at, does your platform or a payment gateway or slash checkout does he support the currencies where your customers are? If your customers are in UAE and your platform does not support AED and it only supports USD, may not be the best possible choice, right? Does it support the payment methods in the geography your customers are based out of? So if in US, if somebody uses Master and Visa more than any other payment mechanism, then is your payment gateway really supporting that? Does your payment gateway gives you a flexibility of settlements in currencies outside your local currency? Because many times you convert dollar into INR and then again convert INR into other currency because you need to pay for your SaaS or the cloud which you are using. And last is, does your payment gateway can you connect it seamlessly with your platform? Does it have a plugin? Does it give you flexibility of having a iframe and some of the other things? So I think these are the few ones which are super duper critical, while I can talk about other 5.
Thanks, Gaurav, for sharing the framework. I'm sure the audience will find a bunch of these things also in Payoneer checkout. But having said that, all of these things are very super critical to be used when you're finding your next payment gateway or like looking out for the right solution for your web store business. Great. So now moving on to Anita. Anita, we have like a bunch of questions from the customers. The first one being, somebody in the audience believes that sometimes missing paperwork for shipment leads to a lot of delays in clearance in India. How does FedEx solve for these issues? Do you have any tools, any processes that ensure that these things don't happen?
Yeah, Kavish, thank you for the question to the audience. I think it's a very, very commonly faced problem. You're absolutely right. We do have a tool to ensure that seamless shipment movement and reduce the risk of clearance delays. And the tool is called EWO in the FedEx world, Electronic with Originals. So basically with this tool, we help a customer to prepare the customs documents electronically. And that kind of minimizes the risk of lost or damaged trade documents when the shipment is in transit. The courier checks the paperwork, which is uploaded online, and then multiple printed copies are not really required to be verified during a pickup or at any leg of the transit where it could get lost. So that's how we kind of help reduce the overall time and also ensure that even if the hard copy of paperwork is lost, because it's uploaded through our tool, it's just available for at any point in time, especially for clearance activity. I hope that answers the question, Kavish.
Sure, I'm sure it does. Another one for AdYogi. So for Arvind, for brands who are successfully selling in India and are now looking in the upcoming year to start selling cross-border, which countries should they prioritize for their cross-border strategy? There are like dozens of countries outside India. Which ones should they go after?
It completely depends on what kind of product offering they have, right? So it is very tough for us to say that which country they should start. But we should see that where we have the biggest penetration in terms of Indian diaspora. If you see that way, that US is must go for all the brand. And after that, it depends that what kind of product you are offering. If you are more big into ethnic wear, especially say in salwar kameez dupatta, then UAE we have seen a success for a brand where the AOB on the higher side. If you are into say wedding fashion, then UK is a go-to country. So it completely depends on your product offering. But US is something which where we have seen that almost everyone is getting success. So US plus one geography. If you have to choose one geography, then start with US, and then subsequently you can keep adding geography accordingly.
Okay, great. So the next one again for Gaurav. My website is built on Magento. Can I use Payoneer checkout on my website?
I think this is what I covered in my deck also. So we do have plugins for Magento, WooCommerce, and Shopify, which is WIP. So it's a pretty seamless process. It takes hardly 5 minutes to really connect that. So
great. So the last one again for FedEx. We usually have small packets to be shipped, and our customers expect a cost-effective rate. Does FedEx have any e-commerce specific solution for our business case?
Thank you for that question, Kavish. In fact, I did cover it in my deck as well. We do have the FICP, FedEx International Connect Plus, which offers us a speed of about 1 to 3 days of delivery, and thereby providing a very experience of a very premium e-commerce service at a very attractive pricing. We have multiple delivery options through this product at destination, at a residence, at a retail point, a locker. The customer can simply choose from the variety of delivery options possible. And like I mentioned, we've currently launched them only in the APAC markets. However, we are looking to expand them to US and Europe destinations, hopefully in the very near future.
Great.
Thanks.
Thank you, everyone. Special thanks to all the speakers and the audience who attended today. This was the first episode of Payoneer D2C Rath. We promise to come back with another round, maybe post Diwali, and make it more interactive, add more content, and take specific pain points that you face in your cross-border journey. We had logistics, advertising, and payments covered today. We promise you to add more topics around growing your D2C brand globally and getting you successful sales volume, or basically helping you generate sales beyond India. So once again, thanks all of you for attending the session. We'll share the recorded link of the webinar after the session with you, and also a feedback link to share your feedback on things that we could have done better. So look forward, and goodbye for now. Thank you.
thank you so much.
Thank you, Kavish. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.